Hello. So it's that time of year when people are loving the spooky things, they're watching the horror movies. I'm doing none of that. All of my Halloween decorations have some glitter and some cuteness to it. I don't watch horror movies. I'm a giant wuss. And so even the games I play are not super scary. They're more fun, tongue in cheek, not the gory kind. Totally great if you love those, but if you're looking for something that maybe you can play with more kids or that just isn't the super horror vibe, these are the games I go to this time of year. So first up is Head Honcho. This is for 2 to 5 players, and you're making chains of patterns. The artwork on these cards is adorable, and you're trying to capture rooms because essentially you want to be the head honcho of this manor. It's really fun. It's really cute. Great card game, easy to pull out, nice and portable. Next up is Salem 1692, and as you might guess, it's based around the Salem witch trials. So it's kind of one of those hidden role games. Like we used to play Mafia in school when there was rain and we couldn't go out to recess. So you're trying to figure out who are the witches, and the witches obviously are trying to stay hidden because it did not work out well for them. And this game plays up to 12 or 14? 12. Plays up to 12 players. So you can play this with a whole bunch of people. Obviously, you can play any time of the year, but it makes sense this time of the year. That's Salem 1692. Next up, we have Candy Hunters. And in this game, you are putting out tiles that are different colors, and you have patterns that only you know that you are trying to make with the rooms. And there's kids that are in some of the rooms. And if you can make the pattern with a kid on a room, that's great because you're going to get bonus points and they're going to eat candy and they're going to be so happy. But if a ghost has moved on to one of your rooms, that is bad because you don't want to make your patterns when the ghosts are there. So during your turn, you have the ability to move things around and try and get everything situated. It is a very puzzly game for 1 to 4 players. Next up, we have Psychic Pizza Delivers to Ghost Town. And in this game, you are going to have one person who's the mayor. So they're kind of the director. They're, the one that knows what's going on. And then everyone else is a pizza delivery person. And they are trying to get their pizza delivered while it's still hot within this creepy town. And there's wormholes that can suck you from place to place and move you around. And you don't want the other people with pizzas to find out the locations first. So there's deduction, there's figuring it out. It's silly, it's fun. It plays up to 5, I want to say. Nope, up to 4. Nope, I was right, up to 5, because you'll have the game master and then you can play with 2 to 4 additional people. So it is technically a 3 to 5 player game, but it's very cute. And as you can see, none of this stuff is super scary or spooky, so you can play it with pretty much anyone. Then we have Ghosts Love Candy too, because of course they do. So this is a bidding game where you have kids out there with different candies on them, and you're going to be putting out one of your ghost cards to get that kid, because each person at the table has a card that tells them what candy is worth. And everybody will be going for candy that is worth different amounts. So while peppermints might be really low for me, they might be really high for someone else. Or candy corn might be really high for me, but really low for someone else. So I'm trying to get the most of the candy that's going to help me, but I don't want other people to know what that is, or they might go for it just to try and thwart my plans. So this is a cute one, and it is also up to 6 players, so 2 to 6 on this one. Then we have the Bloody Inn. This is maybe the creepiest game in this list. So you are running an inn, and unfortunately, not all of your guests will make it to morning. That may or may not be your fault. And you also want to keep your 5-star Yelp review. So when the authorities come, you got to make sure there's no evidence bodies for them to find. So you are having to make sure that they are taken care of. And also, since those people are no longer on this mortal coil, you might as well take their valuables and line your own pockets. So it's a ridiculous theme, but it's not scary or gross. It's more meant to be funny and campy. So this is a game that I think is just a hoot. You can actually play it solo or up to 4 players, but it is, it's tongue in cheek. But yeah, you are running an inn that has a shady underside to it. So that's the Bloody Inn. Then we have Rear Window. This is a classic Hitchcock film. This person is in their apartment and they think they see something, but did they see what they thought they saw? So this is another game where you'll have one person who is playing as the director, and they are going to be giving clues over 4 rounds through cards. So they're going to be putting 2 cards out, trying to communicate something. And the other people in the game are trying to figure out the apartment and the person. And there's also ways to make this more difficult as you play it a few times. And the director knows whether or not a crime actually did occur. If a crime did occur, the director isn't being so truthful with you, and you have to suss that out. If a crime did not occur, then they are being truthful with you, and you also have to figure that out. So there's a couple layers of intrigue to this, but it is really fun. The components are amazing in this game, and I can usually find it for really cheap on sale. I don't know why, but this game is so good. Next up, we have Witchcraft. And in this game, you have a coven of witches who you are trying to prevent all of these bad things from happening in the town. And the townspeople are not super appreciative. In fact, they're going to put you on trial, and you have to try and sway a certain number of jurors to your side. Otherwise, you don't win the game. This is a solo only game, and it is not easy, or I am really bad at it. One of the two. I love the game, but I definitely lose more than I win. And there's really cool choices you have to make because you're deciding, like, okay, do I want to use this person's small ability and keep them hidden so I can continue to use them? Or is it time to pull out the big guns and they might go to jail and I can't use them anymore? How can I get more people into my coven so that I have more power and more ability as things get more and more difficult throughout the game? So this is a fantastic solo only game. And then finally we have Ofrenda, and I maybe just made the Lego Ofrenda as well. So in this, it is very puzzly. You are putting together your Ofrenda, but the pictures that you are laying out in your Ofrenda want to be placed next to certain other family members because, you know, I guess grudges go beyond the grave. And so you are trying to get things set up in such a way that everyone is as happy as possible with their placement. I've never gotten it perfect. There will always be someone who is unhappy or you didn't fulfill all of their requests, but it's very puzzly. There's kind of a draft system going on. It plays 1 to 4. Or is it 1 to 5? I forget. I've only played it solo so far, actually. I will be playing it multiplayer here soon, but I've only played it solo. So the components are gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. It looks great. And it's one of those puzzly games, which I love. So those are my takes on the games to play when it is this time of year, because I don't want to play horror games. I don't want to watch horror movies. This is what I like. So let me know, what are you playing this time of year? What for you sells the theme? Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.